Well, shalom, shalom. I'm Barbara, and I'm always short and sweet. The rituals and festivities of Easter. Cakes and buns. Our hot cross buns originated from the cakes which were baked and given as presents to Easter, Ishtar, or the Queen of Heaven. Eating of ham. Tammuz, the son of the sun god, was killed by a pig in order to bring him back to life, and no meat was eaten for 40 days. But at Easter Sunday, a pig was killed and eaten in revenge. And I did a video about this. What does the worship of Tammuz have to do with Lent and the cross? So fish eating on Good Friday. The fish symbol also represents the goddess of fertility. And the eating of fish on Fridays was a sacrament to the god Dagon. Virgin sex. As the cult of Ishtar developed, the priest would take and impregnate young virgins on the altar of the goddess of fertility at sunrise on Easter Sunday, which we're talking about the spring equinox here. So blood sacrifice. A year after impregnation, the priest of Easter would sacrifice these 3-month-old babies on the altar at the front of the sanctuary. Easter eggs. The priest dyed Easter eggs in the blood of the sacrificed infants, as eggs were great examples of the embodiment of fertility. And remember about Semiramis coming back to earth, the myth, the story about it, in a giant egg, and then turned a bird into an egg-laying rapid. And I did a video about this too, the origins of Easter. So I've done a lot of videos about Easter. Today is just a little recap. Was Easter created before Yeshua or Jesus' death or after? Easter predated Yeshua by thousands of years. The evidence shows that the crucifixion of Yeshua was only attached to Easter 300 years after Yeshua died. And it was brought into paganism, entered the church through Constantine and the Council of Nicaea. And this is one of my recent videos I did showing you how paganism has entered the church. So here are a few examples of Ishtar, Easter, Ashtaroth. Ezekiel 8:14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of Yah's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. That would be at the time of Lent now. It's all changed over to modern churches. So 2 Kings 23:13, and the high places that were before Jerusalem, which were on the right hand of the Mount of Corruption, which Solomon, the king of Israel, had built for Ashtaroth, and that's the abomination of the Sidonians. 1 Kings 11:5-6. He followed Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, the detestable god of the Amorites. So Solomon did evil in the eyes of Yah, and he did not follow Yah completely, as David, his father, had done. 1 Kings 11:33. I will do this, Yah had said this, split the nation, because they have forsaken me and worshipped Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Sidonians. So the people of Israel, here's where they turned, 1 Samuel 7:3-4. The people of Israel removed the Baals and the images of Ashtaroth, and they served only Yahweh. Here they are again, Jeremiah 7:18. The women were engaged in kneading dough and baking cakes of bread for the Queen of Heaven. Here's a modern Queen of Heaven picture. Hail, Holy Queen, the Mother of God. And you all know this as Mary. And this is an imitation of the Queen of Heaven in our modern world we live in. And I did a video about this. Who is the Queen of Heaven? So in Jeremiah 44:15-18, it stated that the people actually believed, because they stopped worshiping Easter or the Queen of Heaven, that they were suffering. But Jeremiah said to the contrary, it was the worshiping of Easter that had caused the calamity. And then in verse 23, he said, it's because you made offerings and because you sinned against Yah and did not obey his voice, that all this disaster has happened to you this day. So from the information in the Old Testament, common sense would dictate that if Easter or Ishtar was being worshipped before Yeshua was born, then Easter is not the recognition of his death. Most importantly, it must be noted that the Creator punished people who worshiped Easter. The spring equinox worship, Venus planet deification, hot cross buns, bunny rabbits, eggs painting, and human sacrifices are not connected with Yeshua, our Messiah. 1 Samuel 7, and Samuel spoke unto all the house of Israel, saying, if you do return unto Yah with all your hearts, and put away the strange gods and the Ashtaroths from among you, and prepare your hearts unto Yah, and serve him only, he will deliver you. So this is what I pray for you today, that you will be aware of Easter and Ishtar, and put away all these pagan festivities and rituals to the goddess of Ishtar, actually. So like if this is a blessing to you, and please share with your friends that love Yeshua. And remember, Revelation 18 says, come out of her, my people. His people are in the churches. His people are celebrating Easter. Please come out of her. It is not about the resurrection of Yeshua. It's a pagan ritual. So remember, I'm short and sweet, and I'll see you next time, Yah willing.